had the second one, great ball to count. This is going to be the third. It came out this week. Once again, from Sun Records, Jerry Lee Lewis, Wrestler.
This is the Time Vault podcast. I'm your host, Jovi Nicewender, and this is...
I'm Dr. Thomas from the University of New York City, here to talk about the topic of 9/11.
And
I'm Jameson Deska, and I'll be double-checking his facts.
So, I have the first question. What is 9/11? Can you just kind of like summarize it for our viewers?
To briefly summarize 9/11, it was a terrorist attack that happened on America through the group Al-Qaeda, which was when multiple terrorists took over and hijacked planes, which then were used to be redirected into the World Trade Center, as we mostly all know is the most devastating attack. And they trashed to both the north and the south.
And also, what causes led to the event of 9/11, and what were its long-term / like short-term impacts? But put in a global, social, and kind of cultural thing.
Yeah, of course. Really, it was just insubordinarity. The people of Middle East thought, especially Al-Qaeda and the other terrorist group that were going around the time, they thought that they should be in more power than smaller countries or bigger countries than they were. So they decided to attack the biggest one, America. At the time, we were just coming out of the Cold War. We had just defeated Russia in the Cold War, and we had just become the #1 global superpower. They deemed us as someone that is not worthy of that. So they decided to attack us from where it hurt the most. And globally, it caused panic. It caused people to fear our nation, our security, what we could do to prevent it. They didn't even believe in us like God did. And they really just social, and like that brings me into the social aspect of it. A lot of people knew at the time or after that it was Al-Qaeda, which was a terrorist group, and that terrorist group was based in the Middle East, obviously. And so there kind of was a social norm / racial profiling of those who were from Middle Eastern or world Middle Eastern descent. And those people socially were just treated in a way that is just not respectful or deemed righteous in our country. So, I mean, yeah, honestly, and culturally, I feel like the people of the Middle East kind of deemed themselves as lower because of that. They kind of like were like, man, it was our people that did that. Like, they're going to think that our people did it. They're going to think we did it because those are our people. So they kind of culturally kind of like had that like level of like, we're less than you.
Okay. So you kind of mentioned it with two of your points in there.
Mm-hmm.
That like, was there any controversies about the topic? I just want first, Jameson, just to fact check everything. Does everything seem in touch and good?
Everything seems historically accurate.
Okay, good job. Okay, so do you wanna answer my question? Was there any controversies about 9/11?
Yeah, surrounding and during, there were a lot of controversies, honestly. One that I can think about mainly is the controversy that people of America at the time thought that we did it. That America themselves and the government did it. For personal gain, for global gain, just to attack. They thought that we just did it so that we could have another war, which is completely not true. It was Al-Qaeda all by themselves. And another controversy that led to this, that was caused by this, rather I say, was the Patriot Act. Not the cause of it, but it was what followed. The Patriot Act was something that made national security better, but it also kind of implemented this social norm / racial profiling of those of Middle Eastern descent, and that kind of just threw off the balance of freedom and equality in America.
Okay, well that sounds good. So I just wanted to go over, in case any of you guys didn't know, some key figures that were involved in the attack of 9/11. it was Al Qaeda, the leader, or Osama bin Laden, and then there was like operational planners like Khalid Skanesh.
Skadiq.
Oh, so he obviously knows more than me. He's a professor.
Yes.
And which he was the lead hijacker. What was the historical significance behind the event of 9/11?
Yeah, biggest historical significance was that it was the deadliest terrorist attack of the time, triggering one of the U.S.'s biggest war on terror, which caused the invasions of Afghanistan and Iraq. And it honestly just reshaped global security as a whole because of all these attacks because of all the attacks that happened on that day. It really just, it really destroyed our social security, like our global security, and it just made it reshape into something that was more secure, stronger, and safer.
Okay. That's a good point there. Everything seems facts about that. Okay. So I just wanted to ask one question. Didn't this kind of create the Department of Homeland Security?
Yeah, it's completely true. With the attacks of 9/11, the U.S. decided that we needed something in order to counteract or stop this stuff from happening again. So we decided to initiate the Department of Homeland Security as well as enacting the Patriot Act.
Yes. Okay. So obviously we are relevant right now, but do you think, and also how does this topic continue to be relevant and influence the world today?
It continues to be a relevant topic because of the concerns of security and just overall like safety of our nation. We just got out of Afghanistan a couple years ago. That war just ended. We got into that war in the 2000s, and we're coming out of it in the 2010s, 2020s, and it just shows just how much that just one attack shaped our history for wars and multiple other things. Like it reshaped our security and our departments and our acts. We created multiple things and put to place to stop this stuff from happening again. So I think in 2025, it's a very relevant topic still to talk about in order to understand how it helped us develop as a country. Yeah, so...
Hey, if I can interrupt, I just want to touch up on something you mentioned a bit earlier. The reason that Al Qaeda attacked the U.S. was to withdraw a force of American influence from the Middle East and provoke a global conflict.
Oh, okay.
See,
Thank you.
That makes more sense.
It does make more sense. Thank you for your insight.
Well, thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it.
Great seeing you guys again.
Yep.
Happy to catch up.
So, I'll see you guys in the next episode.
And they passed to both the north and the south.